welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to determine the size of your kitchen island. If you are doing a kitchen renovation, the first thing you want in your brand new kitchen will be, ding ding ding, a new kitchen island. And how big do you want? And of course, as big as possible, right? But to determine the exact size has to do mostly with your kitchen layout, and if you also have an open kitchen, how the kitchen island fit within the rest of the living space. To illustrate this, I have a brand new, just renovated kitchen here. Okay? So we're going to talk about that. I have the long side and the short side. So for the long side here, you can see that on one end I have the stove here, and on this side I have this sink. So the space that you want for this aisle here, let me see, how much do we have here? I have the measuring tape. So this is around like 39 inches, just almost 40 inches. If you talk to a lot of the kitchen designers, they would recommend somewhere from at least 36 inches, and if you have a big kitchen, like 46, 48 inches. So 36 to 48 or even more is really up to you. It has to do how big is your house and how big is your kitchen. If you have a big house with a kitchen, definitely you should use like 48 inches apart. And then also, if you expect that there will be many cooks working at the same time, then you will want to a bigger aisle. But at the same time, bigger is not always better in this case, because if you have a bigger aisle, that means the actual size of the surface of your island has to be reduced. And also when you work in on one side, say if I work in the stove here and need to drain the pasta into the sink, you do have to take an extra step. So something for you to think about. So as for the short end here, what I have is actually a double waterfall here, so there's no function whatsoever on this side. There's no cabinet. And then on this side, I have the fridge. So let's see how much space we have. So this is also around 39 inches. But remember, this is like from this cabinet to the edge of the island. And since even for the slimmest fridge that they do stick out, right? So this is just under 36. So this is like up to you now. I have really the slimmest kind of depth fridge here. So when you open, you can still get very comfortable, like to walk around it. But if you plan to get a bigger fridge, you have to take into account that they do stick out from the cabinet more. So I will recommend that like you should have to budget for like the fridge if you do have it. And then remember, the door do stick out from the fridge. And also if you get one of those that instead of like the French door that I have, you get one single door, and then the door will swing out even more than what I have here. Now that you have the rough dimension of the kitchen island that can fit within, then the next thing is to determine the exact size. And that will depend on what kind of component that you put into the kitchen island. So typically for a kitchen island, most people will put a sink or a cooktop in it. So in this case, I have a sink here. The regular sink base is 36 inches. And then also I have a dishwasher that is only logical that you put it in the same place right next to the sink. And then the regular dishwasher is a 24. So minimum you have like 24 plus 36, that means 60 inches here. So now if you want to add more, right, then you have to consider what kind of cabinet component. Luckily, most of the cabinet, they do come in various sizes. So this is a 21-inch drawer cabinet combo here. You can also do the increments in terms of 3 inches, like they do have
drawers as small as like 12 or 15 and go all the way to 36. And if you wanted to extend it, but not in the increments of 3, you can also add panels at the bottom to give you extra length that is like at 1 or 2 inches as well. And then another thing to think about is that if you are doing waterfall like Another thing to think about is that if you are doing a waterfall island, whether it's a single waterfall or double waterfall, the waterfall panel to add to the width of the island. Okay. So let's see that, like for example, like the typical panel will be 1 inch, but you also have to add some supporting panel. So what I have here is that it's almost like 2.5 inch on each side. So now instead of an 81-inch island, I have end up with an 86-inch island. So as for the depth right now, let's take a look. The typical depth of a kitchen cabinet is typically 24-inch, and then of course like you have to go add on the overhang, and then also like for them to build the support, the contractor typically they will add some drywall with using the 2x4 to add to the structure. And also, if you want to sit at the kitchen island like what we here, right? It is also you have to add on the overhang. This is a somewhat shallow island here. I will talk about in a different detail why it is the case here. But if you are overhang, this is only 6-inch. But if you want to do like a 12-inch overhang, that will add to the depth of your island. So all in all, what I have here is 24 plus 2 for the edge on the other side, plus 4 for the drywall, and then also for the overhang, and then that's how we end up with like a 41-inch depth island here.
So that is how you determine the size of your kitchen island. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Next time, bye.